Hey Linda, it's Skateness Johnson from Machine Knitting Beginner Circle Group, and I wanted to just make a short video to show you how I use my Knitmaster 302. It's also the same machine as, I believe, the Silver Reed 303 or the Empisal 302. They're pretty much the same machine. So as you can see here, I have the carriage set. These levers should be back. When these levers are back, that means you can pattern. If they're forward, you will not be able to pattern. Let me show you the card first. So here's the card. And this is the pattern that I did. You can see it there. Up top, it shows you what the needle arrangements should be. Okay, so if you look at that, this section right here, it's telling you that you have to have 3 needles in work, 1 out of work. And you're actually going to start your needle arrangement right around the 0 mark. So if you look at, let's see, right here, where I have 0 on my machine, to the right of 0, I have 1 needle. And then to the left of 0, I have 2. Just like on the card. Okay, see it right there. 1 needle in work to the right of 0, 2 needles in work to the left, and then you have 1 needle out of work, and then you continue to pattern with 3 in work and 1 out of work. But it's really important that you line up your pattern according to the directions here, because the machine will pattern based on that setup. So if you have your needle set up differently, you're going to get different results. Now, not all of the cards or all of the patterns ask you for a specific needle setup. Only a few do. This particular pattern does. So make sure you look for that at the top. Use 3 needles, omitting every 4th needle. But you always want to start with whatever the arrangement they give you. Okay? So I have my needles set up according to the card. Put the card back in here. And then, it says, we have 2 different orders, so we're going to be doing 2 different things. Excuse me, forgive me, my ashy hands, it's very cold here. We're going to be doing 2 different orders. On the first one, line number 1, we're going to make sure that the first knob is on 2 right, the second knob is on 8, and the third knob is on 3. So if you look here, first knob is on 2 right, right there, 2 right. Second knob is on 8. Third knob is on 3. Okay? Continue along that first line, and it says your cam lever should be on pick. Number 2 button should be pushed in. Pattern lever should be on pick. So we look at our carriage. Cam lever is on pick. Number 2 is pushed in on both sides. And back here, we have this set to pick. This is the pattern lever. Set to pick. Okay, so one more thing we need to check. It's telling us how many rows we're going to knit and what direction. So first row is going to be knit from right to left, and then from left to right, and then back from right to left. So easy, right? So bring the carriage over here. I wasn't prepared to do this video. So we just have everything set the way the card suggests, and we'll do 1, 2, 3, just like the card says. So we did our 3 rows. Now, what's the next order? What's the next step? So we go to line number 2. Line number 2 says you should have the first button or first knob set to 2 left. So we're going to go ahead and change that. Here's the first knob. So instead of 2 right, we're going to set it to 2 left. And if you look here, everything else is the same on line number 2. We keep it on 8, 3, keep that on pick, keep these buttons in, this, and now we're going to go from left to right 3 rows. So here we go. We changed this from 2 right to 2 left. Now we're going to go 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we completed both orders, 1 and 2. So now we go back to number 1. And we're just going to change this knob to 2 right, 1, 2, 3, 2 left, 1, 2, 3, 2 right, 2 left. 1, 2. And that is all you need to do for this particular pattern. It's very simple. Only thing you have to change every 3 rows, because you count the arrows and the arrows show 3 rows, right? 1, 2, 3. So every 3 rows, all you're going to do is switch this from 2 right to 2 left, back and forth. Now if you look over here, I haven't done this pattern, but they can be more complicated. Still not difficult because they give you the order and you just go through all 6 and then start back at 1. So here you would change this to 0, then 8, then 1, have that on pick, 2 buttons in, pick, and then you do 2 rows right to left and left to right. Then you would change this to 1, to the dot, to 3, keep it on pick, keep this, all this stays the same. Okay, so you would do, because this stays the same, you're going to do your 2 rows right to left, boom, boom. So you just basically follow the image. Okay, the beauty of these cards, in my opinion, is that you don't even need to speak English to understand them. All you have to do is match the pictures up with your machine in your carriage, and you will be knitting. Don't forget, as I mentioned, you just need to make sure that the card doesn't have a specific needle arrangement. Most of them do not. Okay, very few of them do. But that's it. So go ahead, don't be afraid, start knitting. Make sure your sponge bar is in good working order, and that's it. Please post your project and let's see how you do with it. Thanks.